What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video for today, and today we have the official trailer for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I'm so excited for this. We saw the teaser trailer, it was so good, and now we get the official trailer. So, just like last time, what I'm gonna do is let it play out for you guys, just the video itself, and then I will go back to it and give a in-depth analysis of the trailer with like theories, stuff that I think is gonna happen, characters and everything. So without further ado, here we go.
Hi, this is Mike. I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available.
Yes. The security guard.
I will take anything.
This place was huge in the 80s with the kids. They shut it down years ago. The owner's just not ready to let it go yet.
I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
Give me your hand.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's, where fantasy and fun come to life.
Okay.
You must be new security guard.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them. In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
Hello?
They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
There are ghost children possessing giant robots. Thanks for the heads up.
Technically, they're animatronics.
What do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Pappy! Tell me how to stop them.
It's too late.
Pappy, go!
Where to? Why do I always get the weirdos?
Alright, so that's the trailer. Hope you guys are as excited as I am. So now I'm gonna give my in-depth analysis. So here we have the
Hi, this is Mike.
Michael and his sister
calling to see if
Abby.
that
He's
job
trying to
that you
get
offered was
the
still
job at
available.
pizza. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And here comes in my first theory for the movie is that I don't think that Mike and William will be of the same family. They could be. I have some theories that I could go over later on near the end of the trailer. But as of this moment right now, I don't think that they're family. I think they're going to go with a more separate approach to it, where they're just two separate people. Mike's trying to just provide for his sister, and William is, of course, William Afton. So,
Yes.
here, notice of delinquency. I think this is, that maybe, he did some things wrong, as you guys saw in the later half of the trailer. I'll show you guys what happened. I'll allude back to this moment, but I think that he is gonna have some legal action against them. Maybe why they sent Vanessa. I have some theories, some ideas, and I think they might separate him from his sister. Maybe he needs some payments that are due, stuff that went wrong with him, and that leads to him being desperate to getting a job, which leads him to getting into Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, the security guard.
The security guard.
I will take anything.
This place was huge in the 80s with the kids.
Huge in the 80s with the kids, as he mentioned. So I think that this is gonna take place like 1 or 2 decades after the whole murder situation. And honestly, I'm hoping that we do get flashbacks to what happened there, because it'd be really cool, really interesting to see like Spring Bonnie in the flesh. Like it'll just be really cool to see like the actual pizzeria like during its lifetime when it was super popular. A lot of kids, the animatronics performing live with kids, and we might get some of the scenes of the actual murders. I don't know if they'll be shown. It's PG-13, but it'd be really cool to see like that time period of things instead of just afterwards with the animatronics already being haunted.
They shut it down years ago. The owner's just not ready to let it go yet.
The owner, that part sounds a little choppy. The owner's not ready to let it go yet, but other than that, well, he's the owner, so of course he wouldn't let it go.
I will work,
There's crimes attached to it.
and you will sleep.
I understand.
She most definitely not gonna sleep.
Give me your hand.
Here we see the same clips as the old trailer. Still looks good. Here we have the vents. I think that what's gonna happen, as I'll allude back to this again in the later half. They're in the vents. They might go in the vents because I think it'd be a good place where they can hide from the animatronics, Mike and his sister Abby. And I'll speak more on this later. And here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the background for the employees of the month, we do have all of these guys, or I think most of them, are part of the FNaF community, FNaF YouTubers. We have 8-Bit Ryan here, we have Daco, and some more. So I think this is really cool that they're getting like the whole FNaF community involved into this project, even if it's just like the big figures. So I'm waiting to see what they do. Of course, there's another one at the end, but I want to see. I'm really hoping to see Matt Pat from Game Theory and Markiplier, who said he had a project that he was working on. So I think it's the Iron Lung movie, but it'd be really cool to see him in the project since he's the king of FNaF.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on
Here
the monster.
we have first clip of our first official view at Foxy. He looks very cool, very creepy. The same cameras as they were in FNaF 1. They look pretty similar. Although the like layout of the pizzeria is just a bit different than what I thought it would be. But nonetheless, still looks really good.
Eyes on the monitor.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's.
You have that clip from the
fantasy
first
and
trailer.
fun come to life.
Okay.
And then we have a new character. We have Vanessa. So
You must be new security
I have some
guard.
theories, big theories about this, because she storyline, like the game, in the game universe, she comes in a lot later, but I think her role might be similar to what it is in the like in the last game, how she was kind of working for William Afton in a way. So I think she'll be kind of working for him as well, either like helping him hide his tracks, because she's a security guard. She speaks on this.
Have you met them yet?
Have you met them? She seems to have some history with them.
Them.
So look at it. Falls asleep. And here we have the big moment. The Toreador March. We see everything turn back on. All the plushies, the merchandise. And we have the big three. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica performing. They look great. And you see little Cupcake Man right here. And then he goes to turn it off, but it goes back to normal before he tries to do so. It's obviously confused. And then he goes back into the cameras. And then right here, it's the same shot as Five Nights at Freddy's 1. That one camera everybody remembers.
In the 80s, kids went missing.
Here, in the 80s, kids went missing. So from this, I can, we can probably tell that she has a bigger connection to this than she might let on. I think she was partly involved or there for when it happened. So I do think she might be involved with William Afton, kind of helping hide his tracks. And kind of like a similar role than she plays in the games, kind of like a follower, maybe reluctant. But also this might have to do with the beginning, how there was a police, like they were against like they're gonna separate Mike from his sister Abby. So I think she might have to do with this. That might be a setup for eventually getting him to work at the pizzeria. Could be just like a little working in the backgrounds of Mike, just like trying to, of William trying to get certain people to work as a night guard and kill them all. Just like as we see here, the hand getting dragged out, which I think is from the previous night guard that we saw in the first trailer that got chased and got like stuck right in front of a locked door. And I think he got killed by an animatronic and he's getting dragged out.
The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
See, she looks kind of genuine, but I'm a little suspicious of her just because, her role in the games, which might reflect what happens here, is that she is kind of just a follower of William.
Hello?
And here we have back to that one scene where she sees Freddy's eyes, the scream, which I think might be hers, so something might happen to her. And here we have some new characters. We have, I don't know what his name is, and I don't know who this person is, but I've heard that his name is Frank or Hank, and her name is Max. So it seems like they're going to break into the pizzeria. He has a crowbar, he has a bat, so they might be trying to destroy the animatronics or do something like that. Like tear the place down. They've probably seen some stuff. They probably experienced it. Maybe a theory here. They're family of the kids that got murdered. So that's the theory of mine. Maybe they saw it, they were there or something. Because they seem old enough to like have experienced that in the 80s. They probably were there when it happened, held a grudge, want to go against them. And it might not go well for them, as you see later in the trailer. As here we see the janitor room, which is the only place that Bonnie, like the janitor room, only Bonnie can be in there in the game in FNaF 1. So here we see that it does not end well for Hank. Bloody hand, probably over for him. Here we get to another scene. This is back to in the original trailer where they go to where Mike gets like in the forest with dead kids. And I feel like this is part of the same scene where they're trying to draw out who killed him. Maybe he questions them on what happened to him, something, and they draw this. So I think this might be midway through the movie. They tell him that this man, Spring Bonnie, was the one who killed them in the 80s that caused everything to shut down. And this is before he eventually will show up.
Children possessing giant robots.
You see? We can tell clearly it's Foxy now. Still don't know who's Freddy Golden Freddy, as we see later on.
Thanks for the heads up.
He doesn't seem very convinced of that, but she definitely knows something. Here, first of all, notice the eyes. I want you guys to keep track of the eyes. I'm going to mention this at the end, but notice how he has just white eyes, and before, with a clip with Abby, he had red eyes. So I'm going to talk on that a little bit later on. Here we have our a good look at Foxy right there. We have a very creepy looking Foxy. He's right there on the hallway, just like he did in FNaF 1. If you get killed by him, you leave the door open. Right there. Very creepy. They did him very well. He looks scary and real. They made him very well too. Because he's different. Because he's like more broken down, kind of. And he doesn't have like very like built legs for somebody to go inside. But they did him really well. And here we have the entrance to the pizzeria, which feels different to what I thought it was before. But the layout's different, as I mentioned before. It's different from the games, but it's still cool. And here, maybe there's something upstairs, second room or something, or if it's just laid out like that for like lights for the performance stuff. Just an insight.
What do they want?
And here, we have a close-up of Bonnie. You can see so well made, looks so cool with all the wires inside of the lights. And I want you guys, again, just letting you guys know, look at the eyes right now. They're like kind of like yellow, red, orange, that kind of tint. And here we have a big shot. You see, we just have like some paintings, some drawings from like kids of the animatronics, and then here and here. I don't know about this one, but I'm kind of convinced it looks yellow, maybe because of the light, but these two kind of point out to the main antagonist, Springtrap, Spring Bonnie. Is what it was called before, Spring Bonnie. And it's interesting to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. So this might even be one of those kids, because they look kind of similar to how they are in the flashback, and similar t-shirt colors, but you know, they can look kind of different. But it's interesting to see that there's 5 of them, and then Spring Bonnie, you know, just kind of connected to that little dream sequence. And they point out our main antagonist.
They want to make her like that.
Okay, here, let me go back to it. Just listen.
They want to make her.
They want to
like
make
them.
her like them. Now, I don't think it's true, because of the games. Basically, how it's connected is they don't really hurt other children. They're kind of safe. Like they're kind of built, especially in FNaF 1 and FNaF 2, they're kind of built to stay away from the kids. Like, don't hurt them and just entertain them. But at night, or like everything, they're cautious of adults. So I have 2 theories. Well, I have a theory on this. I have a theory that Vanessa is lying to Mike. She's trying to blame it on the animatronics who are controlled by kids, that they think they're gonna kill her, turn her into an animatronic, and stay with her forever, you know. But I think what it really is that they're trying to warn her. Look at the eyes. Maybe they're trying to warn her somehow and try to protect her from the big antagonist, Springtrap, Spring Bonnie, William Afton, who is the real one who killed those kids back then. And they maybe don't want this to happen to another kid, you know? And then Vanessa kind of like sways Mike away to kind of, you know, put the blame on them and keep it away from Michael Afton.
Tell me how to stop them.
Okay, here we have a little flashback to the mall. So I think this was his previous job before being a night guard. Or maybe he goes back to it somehow, talks to William Afton there. I don't know. And here we have telling me how to stop them. I think he's talking to Vanessa or even William. Cause it's in like a creepy dark room. Kind of looks like a back room for it. You see, kind of like a shed. So I think this might be the moment we get to see Spring Bonnie. Something of the sort. Just really excited for that part to come in. And here we have a really creepy part of the movie. We have, I think this is our Max character. This is Freddy, and then we get to see a hand come out and drags her out of the picture. I think that she's gone too. Second one off. But I don't know how this is gonna work really, because the hand, it's probably from the kid that got killed so long ago. So maybe this is like an apparition of sorts. I don't know how they're gonna make it. If it's like actually physical or like more like ghost haunt type of hand, but I guess we'll see. Then we have this back of Foxy stepping on the ball, and here we have a scene where she's getting hunted down by someone very clearly. Dark room, it's off, there's like colored lights. Nice picture of Freddy there. There's colored lights, dark room, you know, she's getting hunted by somebody. The last trailer kind of made it as if Foxy was the one hunting her, but I do think that, you know, again, back to this place, dark room, colored lights, looks kind of like late on in the story, and we'll get him, Springtrap, the big man of the trailer. I really want to see this costume, man. Like, I want to see, like, because look, here it doesn't look broken, but later on it will be. Just notice that it doesn't look like it was broken here. It looks like it's just straight up Spring Bonnie. So I think he's the one that will be hunting her down later on in that scene. A little creepy here. They go in the underground room. I don't know why this is. Maybe this is after they hide in the vents, go somewhere, they hide, and he tells her to get it. He wants her to escape. Okay, and here we have back to the scene with the little kids. Remember I mentioned that before. But I think this might be one of 2 people. This is where I have another theory that comes in. So for this theory, I do think that it could be one of 2 people. One, it could be our stand-in for the crying child. who might get killed in some way, shape, or form. Um, and that would eventually just kind of start everything off, start the killing, start what happened. All the other kids are gone. They start dying off. The pizzeria closes down. Starts everything off. My other theory is that this is a flashback to Mike himself in the past, where he leaves, um, like the city or country, the city where the pizzeria is, which kind of like connects to the book universe, where it's like the main character like left after like when she was a kid, and then she comes back later on, and everything like happens. She goes back into the pizzeria with friends, and you know things start going wrong. But it might be one of those two theories. But I most definitely know by the reaction, it might be somebody connected to him. So it's definitely somebody closely connected to him, family member most likely. And here we have, remember how I said the vents? We have Bonnie and Chica looking creepy. They're in the kind of like underground looking area with a vent, and the cupcake is gone, as you can see it. Cupcake is gone. So I think they used the cupcake as a tool to kind of get them out of the vent, because they might think that's like a safe space. But it's kind of a way to get them out of the vents and back into the place. Okay, so here, this is where another comes in, another theory of who it could be. So theory number one, I don't know if it's plausible that much or not, is this Michael's mother. Never heard a name for her, maybe get introduced to her here. And this could connect to the theory that I had of the kid that got taken in the car being Michael's brother. Because maybe if that happens and he dies, the mother wouldn't take that well, and something might have happened. But the other person that I think it could be is that it is Vanessa, who maybe got attacked by William Afton in her home. And that leads us to this next little clip that we saw of Vanessa in a hospital. So it's either that Vanessa was attacked by Michael Afton in her home, or that Vanessa was attacked in the pizzeria by an animatronic, or Michael Afton in the Spring Bonnie suit. And here we have a little scene from Mike's possibly previous job, where he is beating up a guy in the mall. We can see here he's a security guard, and he's beating some random guy up. We don't know who it is. So what I think of this is that, similar to the situation in the books, where kind of she goes back, she starts seeing things, she goes to the pizzeria, she meets back, and I'm seeing a couple of connections here. She goes back, she starts remembering things, she goes back to her home place and in the fourth closet, all this stuff happens. Here we might have like a similar situation where it's like he comes back after being away from there for a long time, comes back with his sister. He's kind of struggling to live. He gets a job as a security guard. He starts seeing things, hearing things like related to his past life, maybe with Freddy's, possibly. And he somehow, some way, ends up like seeing something, starts beating this guy up, which eventually leads him to be in the bad situation with the police, with him maybe getting separated from his sister, that eventually leads him to go work at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Here. Okay, now we're going back to the vent scene, which I told you maybe he got chased down in the underground part by the cupcake. He left upstairs, and now he's kind of in the dark area, like that, the like lights out with colored lights everywhere with Springtrap. And what do we see here? Our boy Springtrap, right there. Man, the trailer looking scary as ever. He looks amazing. Something that I will mention, as I said, look here, he looks broken down. That got like trimmed off. So I think maybe before it was I don't know if it was a flashback. I don't think so, but it could be. We could get some flashbacks to him, how he started using the costume to commit all those murders and stuff. But now we see him in kind of like a more Springtrappy form. But this is where another theory in connection to the books comes in. because here I don't think he's been spring locked yet. So I think he's like William Afton is still wearing it as a costume, just like in the books how the Stan William Afton kind of used the costume later on to kind of hunt down the kids that broke in, like the main character and his friends. So I think it's gonna be kind of like a similar situation to that where he goes back into the suit, uses it, but like still has like an alter ego of sorts in the real world, kind of like working as the teacher or whatever he was in the beginning, and hiring people to go to Freddy's and maybe kills them all. Um, so I think maybe we get that, and then maybe later on near the end of the movie, we'll get to see him spring locked, which would be really cool to see. I've always wanted to see a spring lock scene like for real. So that's a theory that I have. I think just let me know in the comments which of the theories that you guys like, what your thoughts are on these theories, and let's keep going. So here in the chase scene, he has like a kind of a stab wound. He seems kind of be, I don't know if it's bleeding, but it's definitely ripped or something. So I think he either got stabbed by Springtrap or by Foxy, one of the animatronics scratched him or something, and he's running away from somebody. He's trying to get out really bad. He's in the underground area, and he gets caught. Okay, so he gets caught, and he gets placed down on this contraption, kind of like a way to get stuffed into an animatronic, like I said in my theory on the teaser trailer. And here we have our title card, Five Nights at Freddy's. It looks great. And here we have the one and only Corey Kenshin making, he's actually being a part of the movie, which is really cool. I love to see it.
Where to?
And we have our next buddy, Golden Freddy. Oh boy, this brings in a lot of the table for the first movie, but
Why do I always get the weirdos?
here, okay. So they're clearly, she's happy with him, so it seems like they're friendly. So he probably didn't try to kill her. So I have some theories. Maybe Mike got stuffed. I doubt it's gonna happen. I don't think it is. This is most definitely Golden Freddy. So this is where my theory on the eyes comes in. So we know that there's two kind of like opposing forces. We have Springtrap and we have Golden Freddy. This is my thoughts, okay? He was one of the first victims, the child that got taken away. He became Golden Freddy. The other ones came in later, and they can kind of be controlled by William Afton and possibly Vanessa, which is why, as I mentioned before, Freddy sometimes has the wide eyes when he was like behind here, right here. He had white eyes. But sometimes in other scenes, he has red eyes, like right here. So I think what this signifies is kind of a battle for control. Battle of control over good and bad. This is how we get to see who's good, who's bad, like, and who's in control. Or if like the kids are in control, or Mike or William Afton is kind of in control of them through some hardware upgrades, stuff like that. But I think that Michael Afton, of course, he has the wide eyes, very clear. He's like, that's an animatronic that's not necessarily possessed by anybody. So we know that just an animatronic costume. He might get springlocked later on, I hope so. But I think he's just straight up soul on an animatronic. Could be an apparition. Maybe, probably, could be physical. He looks a little big to be in that car. But I think based on the color of the blue eyes, I think that he's just the pure soul. They're kind of like opposing forces. Spring Bonnie and Fredbear, Golden Freddy. One got killed, one is just used the costume, one's the pure soul that's trying to help Abby and the animatronics to get freed. And Springtrap is trying to kill, take control, not letting any of them out, stuff them in, everything that he did. So kind of shows us like opposing sides, maybe he was trying to help her get out, you know, stuff like that. Because we don't see him until the end. Like, we haven't seen him anywhere else except for maybe the title here. This might be him. I'm not sure. The colors seemed like it could be either of them. So maybe he guides her in there, he guides her out. You know, they're connected in some way. So what I think with that is that, you know, since Abby and Mike are related, I think this could also connect to my theory on the crying child stand-in in that one scene with the car. Because this could be the crying child stand-in that got killed first. You know, he's trying to help his family from the dad, you know, William Afton. If they are all connected by family. If not, he could just be their brother, or he could just be the first victim that's trying to help them escape. So, you know, it's a big theory. I think it might be right. I think it sure does have, it has a lot of connections. So I think it's good to keep in mind while getting ready for the film. And that's it. I'm so ready to watch this on October. Hope you guys are too. Please let me know in the comments below what you thought of my theories. Do you think they're correct? What do you want to add to them? What do you think they are? Do you think I'm wrong? And what are some of your guys' ideas? So, I'll see you guys in the next video.